The final 20 minutes or so of the show today. And we are going to be talking with Sima Diar. She's the program manager at Nisaa Institute for Women's Development. She has been with the organization for the past 17 years. NISA is a non-profit organization, and we are going to be finding out what exactly they do, how they assist the community, and what role you can play in helping NISA go to the next level. Sima Diar, good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. I hope all's okay on your side with your daughter.
Oh, thank you so much for asking. We're getting there one step at a time.
Wonderful, wonderful, speedy recovery. Okay,
Thank you.
let's talk about NISA. I see the pamphlet says NISA needs you. Stand with NISA, stand for women, donate today, and help us continue our work. So, you're here to tell us about the founding story of NISA, how and why it started, and what is its core mission as at today.
Okay. So is an organization that was started almost 31 years ago
Sure.
by Dr. Zubaida Dango and a group of women activists who at the time noticed that a lot of women who were going through domestic violence were actually being treated for anxiety and depression instead of treating the root cause of the problem. And so they then came together and started the NISA Institute for Women's Development so that women who were in these kinds of situations had a place to go and had people who would hear them and help them not just symptomatically, but would help them to get to the root of the issue.
So, what are the most common forms of abuse that women come to you with, and how do you begin supporting them when they arrive?
Okay, so in terms of the most common types of abuse, we see a lot of emotional and verbal abuse, and these are often types of abuse that is often overlooked. So people don't simply come to organizations like NISA unless there's physical abuse. And physical
Mhm.
abuse is often secondary. Um, so the emotional abuse they are the unseen scars, and they often take a long time to heal. And so, what it is that we are able to do to assist is we provide counseling services. We also run shelter for abused women and children, especially when their lives are in danger, but not only when their lives are in danger. Like I said, emotional abuse is often the scars run deeper and it often takes longer to heal. So, um, some of the things people don't know is that they can also have protection orders against their abusers should they experience emotional abuse. And so these are some of the kinds of support that we are able to offer women. So it would look at things like your counseling, your shelter, but also we work with an organization called FASCN. So they're not an organization, they're actually a law firm, and they are able to assist our survivors with free legal support. Um, and in addition to that, we also try and do a lot of economic empowerment. So our survivors have the opportunity to become a little bit more financially independent and have a better standing should they choose to leave the abusive relationship. And we always ensure that this is a choice that they make. Um, Through education, giving them all of the options that they have available to them. We do encourage autonomy in that regard and ensure that women make their own decisions in terms of where they would like their lives to head.
How do your services differ or adapt across your branches in Lenasia, Orange Farm, and Soweto, considering the different communities you serve?
So the issues may differ slightly in terms of cultural and community barriers, but generally the issues are the same. So in terms of the offices, in terms of the services we offer, it is actually very similar in terms of counseling, support groups, shelter if need be. Because, like I said, even though the cultural barriers to access services might be different, so for instance, there might be stigma, there might be pressure on women not to leave abusive relationships because there's a perception or a belief that if she is married, she needs to stay in that marriage, or any problems that she has in the marriage needs to stay within those four walls within their home, and it shouldn't be taken out. It's a family issue. So these kind of belief systems keep women stuck in abusive
Mm.
relationships, and is
Hmm.
often difficult for one to then leave. There's also the perception that men are the breadwinners, and women are needing to look after the family and the household, and it's up to her to keep the family together. So even though there's different cultural barriers, the barriers are there irrespective of race, religion, culture, socioeconomic status. And so the barriers are there. We just need to work differently in terms of trying to get women to access the services that we have to offer. But once they are there, the services we offer would definitely look into those cultural barriers, and but also look at the trauma that women have experienced within the abusive relationship.
And clearly, I should imagine fear or financial dependency keeps these women stuck into these relationships. So, how would NISA then help the women overcome these barriers? Um, Ongoing counseling, I should imagine.
Yes, definitely counseling plays a very important role in trying to help women gain perspective, and also looking at balancing what it is that they are looking for within relationships. So we look very much at person-centered counseling because everybody is an individual. And then we also offer, should women's lives be in danger or it is something that they just cannot take anymore, they are holding on to the last straw, we do offer a shelter where women can stay for between 3 and 6 months. And whilst at the shelter, we offer various different support and educational programs whilst they are at the shelter to ensure that they are empowered with education, but also emotionally equipped with tools that they can use when they leave the shelter, should they choose to leave the abusive relationship. And like I mentioned earlier, we also offer economic empowerment opportunities through education, through assistance with CV writing, job interview preparedness, just generally self-esteem development. These are all important, and we need to look at women in a holistic manner. So we also look at physical well-being. We try and offer exercises, like physical exercises, so people or women survivors can keep fit, because emotionally also exercise helps release endorphins, which help it's like a feel good hormone which is released.
Mm.
And that also tries to help women out of that slump that they are feeling because of being in abusive relationships.
Okay, it is 12:46. We need to go for an ad break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion and we will wrap up at 1 o'clock exactly. So please do be patient with us. We won't be too long.
Searching for elite local and international investment and advisory services from an award-winning firm? Look no further than the Belmont Mayer Group, your gateway to unparalleled investment and wealth management. At Belmont Mayer, we believe in the art of wealth creation, a meticulous process fueled by our unwavering commitment to excellence. With a focus on providing elite alternative investments and quality advice, we also pride ourselves on maximizing value for our esteemed investors, as seen through our consistent outperformance. Your financial success is our top priority. Join us at Belmont Mayor and experience the difference firsthand. Ready to embark on a journey of greatness? Contact us today. Reach out to the Belmont Mayor Group on 078 786 1698. Call or WhatsApp or email us at info@belmontmayor.com. Elevate your financial future with Belmont Mayor, where every detail matters.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042 203 1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
World-class financial services only at Sapphire Global, your financial partner. If you are looking for Islamic, Sharia, and ethical financial products, look no further. Sapphire Global offers a wide range of financial service offerings from short-term to life and investments. A full-service center with all financial requirements under one brand. Our highly skilled and experienced consultants are ready to help protect your financial future. Contact us on 041 001 0184 or visit our website on www.sapphireglobalfs.com. Sapphire Global is an authorized financial services provider.
Make a conscious choice. Sip for change and support Palestine Drinks Africa. With every can, you help end the genocide and stand in solidarity with Palestine. Choose between our original or sugar-free options available in the case of 24. Every sip is a step towards justice. Every purchase a powerful message of unity and support for the Palestinian cause. Contact 082 888 1440 or 082 7739 556 today and be part of the change. Palestine Drinks Africa. Sip for change. Liberty for everyone.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Welcome back. It is exactly 12:50 and we are talking with Sima Diar, Programs Manager at Nisaa Institute for Women's Development. And of course, we are talking empowerment in action. Sima, back to you. Pardon. Can you share an anonymous success story of a woman or women who came to Nisaa and found healing or transformation through your support? And once they move on, do they still keep in touch with Nisaa?
I can share 2 success stories, and the reason why why I've chosen these is just to highlight that abuse isn't something that happens to poorer people, to Indian people, to Black people only, to women who are uneducated. And so we do have 2 success stories. One, there was a young girl who was kidnapped while she was in high school. And when she was kidnapped, she was raped and kept captive for a while. She managed to escape and went home. And when she tried to explain what had happened to her parents, she was silenced and in fact beaten. And a lot of the blame came on her. And the rapist then went back to the family and said it was him, but he'd like to marry her so that as part of like damages. And so there was talks without her. and she was married off to this man who was really actually very abusive. She didn't come to the shelter. However, she did come in for counseling, and through assistance with Nisaa has gone from strength to strength. So whilst coming for counseling, she was empowered to a point where she was able to see that she had a lot of potential within her. And so she got her license, bought herself a car, completed her matric, done a counseling course that Nisaa offers, was then subsequently employed at Nisaa, went on to study a formal certified course in social auxiliary work, and then went on to study social work. And so she's
Wow.
currently employed at Nisaa. So that is definitely a success story. And even though she has remained with her partner, there is a lot of change within that relationship after she was able to be strong enough to open up to her partner and let him know what exactly he had put her through. And then there's another success story that I would like to share. This
Mm-hmm.
woman was an educated woman who was actually a lecturer at a university, but came to the shelter again because of abuse, and she didn't want her children to be living or growing up in an environment like that. So she left the abusive relationship, came to the shelter, but with a lot of shame because she's educated and she, is not someone who would be looked at as having been in this abusive relationship. And the abuse was to such an extent where she was um, she was stalked in front of her place of work, and she every time she had to leave, the husband would make a sort of a tantrum, and it would cause a scene, and she was really very embarrassed. In addition to the physical abuse that she experienced. And then she did come to the shelter. She did get a lot of a lot of support and a lot of assistance to reunite her with her family. And she has now gone on to open up her own medical practice. She's remarried again. And so this woman was on our board for a little while. And so both women did give back to the organization. Their stories can be found on our website. That's www.nisaa.org.za. It's under the publication section. There's a little publication called Rising Up, Moving On, where these two women have written their stories. But in addition to their stories, there's many other success stories within that publication that people are welcome to go to and have a look at should they feel the need. So those two stories highlight the different cultural backgrounds that these women come from, but also the different education levels, the different barriers that they might have had to overcome. One family, one stigma because you're an educated woman, this shouldn't be happening to you. You have resources available, but it's not that easy. And so that is why I wanted to show that violence against women or domestic violence, especially against women, is not something that is chosen as a result of the lifestyle you are leading.
It
It can
doesn't
happen to
discriminate.
anyone, and no, it
It
does not
doesn't
discriminate.
discriminate, does it?
Anyone's sister, anyone's,
Oh, yeah.
mother, daughter, and
Sure.
so it is something that we all need to look at and stand up against.
Okay. So, what role does community education or outreach play in preventing abuse and encouraging women to seek help earlier?
So if there is less stigma and less, sort of like, oh, she's been in the relationship. Even in the media, there's a lot of blame that's put on to women. And so a lot of education needs to be happening so that people better understand the the dynamics of being in an abusive relationship, and there's less blame, less judgment, less stigma, and people are able to access help. So if community members can, instead of turning a blind eye, try and reach out to women who are in these kinds of situations, and have like perhaps a list of resources within and around your community where women can access help, that would be fantastic. So there was a study that was done, where there was, within a complex where there was, a man who was staying, and he was playing loud music. Community members and neighbors complained, but and so the decibels of sound was measured, and it was relatively high. But when there was domestic violence, and the sounds that were coming out of that house were even higher, nobody within the communities came out and assisted or complained or reported the case in any way. And so this just shows that if the communities are able to support women and encourage help-seeking behavior, that women might be able to escape these kinds of dangerous situations. And I'm saying dangerous because femicide is rather high in South Africa. There's about 3 women who are killed on a daily basis as a result of femicide. So it is something that we all definitely need to look into and open our eyes and ears and hearts, so that we can help women in these type of situations and not turn a blind eye.
What are some of the biggest challenges NISA faces, whether it's funding, stigma, or public awareness?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
The biggest challenges that NISA faces.
Okay, so currently, we all know of some of the financial challenges that's happening within the nonprofit sector at the moment, especially with various international donor agencies leaving the country. There's lots of difficulties, especially with the Gauteng Department of Social Development in terms of funding services. I think there's been a lot of media coverage on both aspects. And so organizations like NISA are finding a lot of difficulty in keeping services open and running despite the need for such services. And so we would like to ask people to open their hands, open their hearts, and give generously to organizations like NISA. You can access more information on our website around possible donations. We would like to reach out to the community members to donate to NISA so that we can keep our services running and so that we can help women who are in much need of our services.
Okay, so to wrap up now, for someone listening into us today who might be in an abusive situation right now, what
Yes.
message would you like to send to them, and how can they reach out to NISA?
So help is available. And I know it's sometimes very difficult to reach out for help. It's confusing. There's a lot that you need to deliberate on, but you don't need to do it alone. Organizations like NISA are very willing and able to assist. Like I said, we do run a shelter where we are able to assist women whose lives are in danger, but it doesn't necessarily only need to be shelter. We do offer legal assistance through FASCN. And so don't be afraid and do reach out to organizations like NISA for assistance. Should you need to contact us, our number is 011 854 1007.
Okay, Sima Diar, Programs Manager at NISA Institute for Women's Development. Thank you indeed. You and all at NISA keep up the amazing work and continue uplifting downtrodden women in our community. Thank you once again. God bless
Thank
and
you.
go well.
Thank you so much. You take care and thank you for having us.
Pleasure entirely is ours. It is 2:01 exactly, and it means it's wrap-up time. Thank you so much for keeping me company over the past 2 hours. I do hope and pray that you found all of these very serious discussions important enough to escalate them, forward them on to your friends, family, and know that help is just a phone call away, whatever your circumstances might be. So from me, Julie Ali, till Monday morning on the News and View show at 8 o'clock. Take care, be safe, and it is Assalamu alaikum to one and all.